September 21st, 1999.
It was one of the strongest earthquakes to hit Taiwan in more than a decade.
There's no time to react at all. All of a sudden, the lights blinked a couple of times, and then the wall fell.
Nearly 2,000 already reported dead.
I couldn't save my family. They're buried under the rubble.
And with thousands of people still missing, the search for survivors intensifies. A search made more difficult by continuing aftershocks.
The whole tower's down, and things were just falling on the ground, and we stood up to run out, and it was hard to walk, and we were stumbling around, and we heard, well, we're in an earthquake right now. Our building is shaking.
Tonight, the latest on the Taiwan earthquake.
From ABC News, this is Nightline. Substituting for Ted Koppel and reporting from Washington, Chris Wallace.
All day, the numbers have kept climbing. The death toll from that devastating earthquake in Taiwan. First it was dozens, then hundreds. Now officials say more than 1,800 people have been killed. And with thousands more believed to still be trapped in buildings that have collapsed, those numbers will certainly climb. The situation now is all too similar to what we saw after the earthquake in Turkey last month. Search and rescue teams are trying to dig survivors out of the rubble before it's too late. Experts say finding people in the first 72 hours is critical. For those who have survived, conditions are brutal. Electric power and water have been cut off to broad sections of the island. More than 100,000 people have been left homeless. Tonight, we'll look at some of the personal stories behind the tragedy, how people have lived and died in Taiwan over the last day and a half. We begin with the BBC's Adam Brooks, who reports on how this earthquake has torn apart roads, buildings, and families.
The earthquake struck in the early hours of the morning. It tore at Taiwan's urban areas, knocking high-rise buildings right off their foundations. Highways buckled into useless ribbons of asphalt. Bridges were tossed around as if in play. Most of the deaths occurred near the central city of Taichung. This is a place which has benefited from Taiwan's 2 decades of rapid economic growth. But residential buildings, many of them new developments, simply collapsed, pinning many in their beds. Shoddy construction left people vulnerable.
I couldn't save my family. They're buried under the rubble.
In Taiwan's capital, Taipei, rescuers have been racing to get to 50 people still buried in the ruins of a 12-story hotel. Only the top 4 floors are still visible. Fires have torn through the building's shattered shell. Those pulled from the wreckage are traumatized. Among the injured are many suffering from horrific crush injuries. It was nighttime when the quake struck. Families were at home asleep. They had no chance to protect themselves before their homes fell in on them.
There's no time to react at all. All of a sudden, the lights blinked a couple of times, and then the wall fell.
Heavy equipment's been brought in to try to prise some life from the wreckage, but many of the buildings are still too dangerous to be searched. Thousands of Taiwanese have been made homeless, and continuous aftershocks have sent panicked residents back out onto the streets. Many will spend the night in the open or in tents. Power and water supplies are still cut in some places. Taiwan's military has been called in to assist in the stricken area of Nantou, where whole districts have been virtually destroyed. Japan has sent almost 100 specialist rescuers to Taiwan, and many other countries, including China, have also offered help. And tonight, Taiwan's government welcomed foreign aid and medical assistance. Taiwan has now begun a second night of desperate searching for people who may remain buried beneath the rubble of collapsed buildings. And it's only as that search unfolds that a true picture of the scale of this human disaster will come clear. Adam Brooks, BBC News, Taipei.
It's almost midday Wednesday now in Taipei, and ABC's Bob Jamieson is outside the collapsed Songshan Hotel. We spoke a few moments ago. Bob, what are the latest numbers you're hearing about the damage from the quake?
Hello, Chris. The numbers of casualties, the count of casualties has been changing throughout the morning, but at the moment, the Taiwanese government says there are about 1,800 people counted dead from the earthquake, another 4,500 who were injured, another 200 or so who are missing, and 3,000 people are believed trapped inside collapsed structures. Tens of thousands are also said to be out of their homes, some because the homes have been damaged, others because they fear that the homes will be further damaged from aftershocks.
Bob, that scene we see behind you of that collapsed hotel has become a kind of symbol of this earthquake. It's been more than 30 hours now. Any signs that people are still alive in there?
Well, in fact, Chris, it's our understanding that earlier today this changed from a rescue to a recovery operation at this hotel. As you can see, I think pretty clearly behind me, the bottom 7 floors of this 12-story hotel collapsed at the time of the earthquake. The top 5 floors are cantilevered there. 109 people either scrambled from the building moments after the earthquake or were rescued from the rubble before a fire began. There have only been 4 bodies recovered from this hotel, which was a combination residential and transient hotel, but it is believed that at least 70 others were trapped inside. And as I said, this has changed from a rescue to a recovery operation.
Bob, I know you've only been on the ground there for a few hours, but as you've been driving through Taipei Wednesday morning there, what has struck you?
Well, I think what struck me is that this is really the scene of the worst destruction that I've seen in Taipei. Our understanding, of course, is that there is worse destruction in Taichung County, where 700 people died. What struck me, I think, the most was the lack of destruction within Taipei. The government here is not ready to say whether that's because the city was 90 miles away from the epicenter or whether the building codes protected the city. But it does not seem to have had the effect that you would expect an earthquake of this magnitude would have had upon a major urban center with such a centralized population.
Bob Jamieson in downtown Taipei. Bob, thanks very much. We appreciate it. And when we come back, a Los Angeles businessman who's visiting Taipei and has gained a new respect for earthquakes.
This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by the New York Times.
We explore the world of nature. We examine the nature of man. Science Times in the New York Times. Every Tuesday, we reveal life's most intriguing secrets. Is everything connected? The New York Times. Expect the world.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
Their deaths transfixed the nation. What obsessions may have driven this man to murder? The story of one man accused and 4 victims. The season premiere of 2020 Wednesday.
Getting your best price on that new truck can really bring out the animals. But at Landmark Ford, we know what's important to people. So, we always stock a great selection of Ford trucks with the kind of financing and lease options you'd expect from a high-volume dealer like us. And Landmark Ford can beat any local dealer's price. Cool. Get your new truck at our one and only Tigard campus. Over 13 acres of savings. I-5 at Haynes.
How would you manage Oregon's forests?
There should be strict laws about where you can and can't cut trees.
Replanting would be a must.
I'd want laws to protect streams and fish.
Actually, there already are. Oregon's forest and wildlife protection laws already require replanting and stream protection, and scientists are helping us find new ways to do an even better job. Find out for yourself. Rediscover Oregon's forests.
Joining us from Taipei, Perry Lam, a Hong Kong businessman who was sleeping in his Taipei hotel when he was violently shaken by the initial tremor. And Bill Johnson, who works for a Los Angeles defense contractor and stopped in Taipei on business and was reading in his hotel room when the quake struck. Mr. Johnson, tell us what that moment was like.
I can tell you it was probably the most terrifying moment that I'd ever lived through, actually a couple of moments. The earthquake, I was awake for the whole thing. I was awake reading a book when it hit. The light flickered and died, and then the room started to shake gradually until it was a very strong tremor. Lasted well over 2 minutes, and then I finally leaped out of bed, fell down one time, got my clothes on, and ran down the emergency stairwell to get out of the hotel. I was on the 22nd floor, so it didn't take very long. We were on the outside the hotel within about 5 minutes.
Let me back you up just a little bit, Mr. Johnson. You say it was a very strong tremor. For those of us who've never experienced anything like that, explain it.
I have never experienced anything quite like that before. I think I was fortunate to be already awake. I had a head start. I was so convinced at one point that I was about ready to be a goner, to meet my maker. It was petrified or terrifying to see, expecting to see the ceiling to come down on top of you.
I know you're from Los Angeles, Mr. Johnson. You've been through earthquakes before. Was this very different?
I wasn't there for the large earthquake in January of '93. Just missed that one, and I only have been through a couple of slight tremors over the last couple of years, maybe 15 seconds each time. This one was totally different. The whole hotel was shaking. Furniture was falling. Lamps were falling and breaking. I've never had that happen to us in L.A., although I'm sure others have. I never have experienced that. It was a very terrifying experience.
Mr. Johnson, since the earthquake, what has the mood been like in Taipei? Has the city been shut down? Are people going about their business?
Yes, Taipei has snapped right back. Initially, all the street lights were out. There was no electrical power throughout the city. That has been restored intermittently, but very quickly. The people are back to work today. Yesterday, they were off by government decree. They're very robust people, and they're coming back very quickly. And as you can see around us, there's quite a bit of recovery effort going on and assistance from different groups.
Mr. Lam, I understand that you were asleep in your hotel room when the quake struck. Tell us what that moment was like.
That's correct. I was in bed sleeping. I just attended a conference of my company here and went back to the hotel. And all of a sudden I was woken. I had experience before in Japan because there's clearly some disturbances there. But this continued on. It was like a real bad dream. And the thing that really frightened me was the duration of it, because you felt the shaking in the rooms. The lamp fell down off the table, and it was just amazing. I was really terrified for my life at the time. Finally subsided, but then again, the aftershocks is where it came on, and that was reoccurring subsequently after that period.
Were you able
to? It was really a frightening experience.
Were you able to lie in your bed, or were you actually thrown out of the bed?
No, I was in bed, but it was like I was on an amusement park on a bad ride, and I was shifting all around us, so I was just trying to hang on. And my real guide was in front of the TV set. On top of it was a vase, and the vase, I was watching it wobble like this, and that was, I guess, my thermometer to life, because it was going to come over. I knew the whole building was coming in on top of me.
Now, how did you get out of that hotel?
Well, the reality was that the hotel was very good. They sent people around searching, knocking on doors, and bringing people out. So what you do is essentially we went down the emergency staircase, groups of us. The lobby was there. They provided blankets, water, and most people went across the street into the park and actually slept there, because we're scared that the walls going to be coming in. The glass from the top canopy as such was a major area of concern. And I think the other point, too, was that in terms of the secondary issue was fire, where it didn't know about the gas, so there would be a secondary explosion or such, which would complicate populate things more.
Now, you're a businessman. What has life been like in Taipei over the last day and a half since the quake?
Well, I must admit it's been a very challenging, but at the same time a very warming experience, because I've seen the Taiwanese come together in this particular dramatic experience and really bond. The government's very good. If you look around here, you see all the volunteers. There's the military here. There's fire. There's also the Red Cross. Everyone's out here trying to help whatever survivors are left in to get them out. So it's been a very moving and touching experience for me.
I see you're still there, though. You don't feel any pressing need to get out of town?
No, actually, there are some aftershocks this morning. In fact, when I was in a hallway as such, I was getting ready to get into the elevator, and I felt it come, so I just waited a minute or two. It passed, and I got in the elevator and I went upstairs. The reality is, I think now people are getting over the shock, and they're coming together and trying to make things recover and as best as possible.
Perry Lamb, we want to thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we're very happy to be speaking with you. In a moment, a Mormon missionary near the epicenter of the first quake experiences a strong aftershock during an interview just a short time ago.
You know, I wonder if you can fix that truck again.
E-tailers like Amazon.com choose priority mail. Shouldn't you?
We're picking up our CEO. We swerved off the road and boom, the airbags go off.
There was a deer.
I never saw it.
Seconds later, an OnStar advisor calls and says, I just got a signal, your airbags went off, should I send an ambulance?
We were fine, but she called for a tow truck and a limo.
Good thing I called OnStar.
OnStar called us.
Oh, right.
OnStar.
During the OnStar Summer of Savings, get the OnStar phone-based system and installation at no extra charge when you prepay for a year of service. Call 1-800-OnStar-7.
Style. It hit me the minute I walked in. It oozed from the upholstery. It dripped from the chandeliers. Yeah, the air was thinner up there on the avenue. This dame was platinum all the way.
Sheer glamour in a seductively priced new collection.
Make yourself at home, she said. So I did.
Avenue from Ethan Allen. There's a sale on now.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
You know, I wonder if you can fix that truck again.
E-tailers like Amazon.com choose priority mail. Shouldn't you?
Coming up, how fat is fat?
What is fat? What is fat? And you don't have
That is nothing anymore.
Like a lot of girls, that's no good.
Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher coming up.
There's nothing like getting an incredible deal, unless it's knowing exactly when and where to get it. And there's nothing like your Northwest McDonald's on Wednesdays and Sundays. Because now, every Wednesday, you can get the original McDonald's hamburger for only 29 cents. Or on Sundays, try our classic cheeseburger for only 39 cents. 29-cent hamburger Wednesdays, 39-cent cheeseburger Sundays. There's nothing like a place you can find everywhere whose deals make it one of a kind. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Dr. Jack Riggs, an Idaho state senator and emergency room doctor, was in Taipei on a trade mission when the quake struck. Dr. Riggs, you were asleep on the 18th floor of a hotel in downtown Taipei when the earthquake struck. What was that moment like?
Well, the first moment as you awaken, of course, there's a little bit of disorientation, but it only took a few moments to know that something was definitely not right. I tried to walk and virtually couldn't, and the doors were slamming back and forth, and at that moment it became very apparent, because we did not know how bad the earthquake was, that there certainly is a question of whether we were going to make it out.
I was going to ask you, were there some thoughts, this is it?
I think for the first time in my life, that thought definitely crossed my mind because not knowing where the epicenter was, and as the intensity grew, you simply did not know if it was going to simply get worse and worse. And even though we were in a fairly stable building, we did not know how bad it was going to be.
Now, you are, in addition to being a state senator, also an emergency room doctor, and I understand that you went over to that hotel that has collapsed that we've all seen the pictures of about a mile away from your hotel. What was the scene like there?
That's correct. After a few hours, we got reports that a structure had actually collapsed about a mile from our hotel, and once we were able to pinpoint the location, because of my training, I did go over there. Fortunately, some of the survivors were able to get out very quickly, but also unfortunately, because of the way the building collapsed on the lower floors, people were trapped, and by the time I had arrived, there was fire and intense smoke. And I went to the front line and spoke to the Chinese doctors that were there, and unfortunately we had to just wait and watch because there was no way to approach the building at that time.
Now, I understand that just a few hours ago you went back to that hotel. What was the scene then?
There was still a little bit of smoke. The fire essentially had been put out. They had gotten, I understand, a few survivors, injured survivors out during the middle portion of the day, and they had begun dismantling the building from the front with a backhoe. I spoke with one of the nurses who felt that there were still up to 50 people trapped, and unfortunately, as I said, being on the lower floors, it's hard to imagine that they will get out alive.
Doctor, from what you saw, did the Taiwanese officials and emergency crews, do they seem to have a handle on the situation?
I was actually impressed because by the time I got there, there were a number of ambulances. They had stretchers. There were at least 2 other physicians waiting, a number of fire control vehicles. They had a crane in place, and this was just a few hours after the earthquake.
Dr. Jack Riggs on his experience with the earthquake in Taiwan. Jason Myers is a 21-year-old Mormon missionary from Salt Lake City who's been in Taiwan for the past 2 years. He found himself outside Taichung, near the epicenter of the quake, when it struck early Tuesday morning. Jason, described the scene when the earthquake hit.
I was shaken off my bed, and that's when I woke up. Things were just shaking all over. Our dresses were falling over and stuff. The whole building was swaying, and we were just really shooken up. We didn't really know what was going on. And so we started getting out, and also the second one hit. The second earthquake hit, and it was probably as big. And the apartments just kept swaying, and so we tried to get out as fast as we could.
Jason, let me interrupt. How violent was the earthquake? Give us a sense of what the scene was in your bedroom when that earthquake hit.
The first things I saw were just things tumbling on the ground. We saw an explosion outside, which was a power box, and the power outside it completely went out. The whole power's down, and things were just falling on the ground. And we stood up to run out, and it was hard to walk, and we were stumbling around, and we heard, well, we're in an earthquake right now. Our building is shaking.
Even as we're speaking right now?
Yes, well, as we're speaking. Okay, it's okay now. Well, we're moving.
And give me a sense. What's the sensation? Is it a?
It's just moving. Everything's shaking. It's not very severe, but we've been feeling these aftershocks ever since the big one hit.
And is it like being on a boat where the deck is going?
Yeah, it's just I'm moving right now. It's dying off now.
Now, I know you've been traveling around that area, which is close to the epicenter. Describe the scene in the countryside. What was the condition? A lot of houses have been knocked down, condition of roads. Give us a sense of it.
Early in the morning, we left and we went to a town called Fengyan, and we went to a 12-story building. It completely just crashed to the ground. It completely collapsed. And by the time we got there was just people swarming the streets, and there's ambulances and there's several hundred soldiers from the army that were trying to pull people out, and we were there to help. So we got right up to the front lines, and we were trying to pull out some of the rubble out and trying to pull stuff out. And we watched them pull out about 4 or 5 dead bodies. There were a few that survived, but most of them were dead. We talked to a lot of the people. There was people standing by that we were trying to comfort. It was their family members. it was a Mr. Lean. His wife and his daughter were in there. He says, yeah, my wife and daughter are under this pile right here. It's a huge pile of just big cement chucks and rebarb, and you could hear. We could actually hear. At one point, we heard him screaming way underneath, but it was so deep and the voice was so faint, and we couldn't. There was no way that they could ever get to him for hours.
So, from your best indication, Jason, the wife and the daughter did not get out of that building?
No, I don't think they survived. The child. We'd heard the child scream. And the last thing we've heard is that the wife has died, and we haven't heard back. And it's pretty sad.
Jason Myers, we're very, very happy that you were able to get through this as safely as you were, and in your travels around that area over the next few days, please stay safe.
Okay, thank you.
Missionary Jason Myers near the epicenter of the earthquake. And I'll be back in a moment.
Solara Coupe, an entirely different kind of Camry. It's for you.
Great Harvest Bread has over 100 stores connected across the country.
There's no other way to grow your business besides talking to other people.
Like thousands of businesses today, Great Harvest store owners use the internet and Microsoft software to share knowledge and make better decisions.
So now we can compare stores versus stores. You know, my suppliers know that I constantly look at prices. So they're less apt to raise prices because they know that I know what I know.
Nice car, huh?
Yeah.
99 Oldsmobile Alero, automatic transmission, all-speed traction control, four-wheel ABS, all standard. And car and driver called the Alero GL, downright world-class.
Can I take a test drive?
Huh? Oh, I don't work here.
Buying a car requires research, so go ahead, find out all you can, and check out the Alero at the Oldsmobile Smart Choice Sales Event. Now get great 0% financing or $1,000 cash back on the road-hugging Alero for a limited time at your local Oldsmobile dealer.
It's an all-new season, a colorful year. Styles turn with the leaves. Here's the place just for you. This is where colors change and style is understood. This is where it all starts. This is where it gets good.
The Meyer & Frank Great Fall Sale starts tomorrow. Save 25 to 50% store-wide on the newest fall styles. Check your paper for extra 20% bonus coupons.
This is where it all starts. This is where it gets good.
The Meyer & Frank Great Fall Sale.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better.
Sushi is big in the Midwest.
Sushi sandwich?
I don't know if a sushi sandwich...
There are no bad ideas.
All right, let's leverage the
I have an
forum.
idea. How about something that actually tastes good?
Oh, I like it.
Here's an idea. Try our tasty new Italian chicken crisp. Now just 99 cents. That's right, just 99 cents for a tasty filet with mozzarella cheese and marinara sauce.
No bad ideas.
Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Recapping the latest numbers on Taiwan's earthquake, it is now believed that 1,800 people are dead, 4,000 injured, 3,000 still trapped in collapsed buildings, and 200 are reported missing. Continuing coverage on the quake on Good Morning America tomorrow, and also more on the floods and rain in North Carolina. And that's our report for tonight. I'm Chris Wallace in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
Nightline is always on with abcnews.com, now part of the Go Network. If you'd like a transcript or video cassette of this or any other edition of Nightline, please dial 1-800-CALL-ABC.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Oh, Grow Up, a new comedy about friends, family, and other love-hate relationships.
Are you Hunter Franklin? Then you would be my father.
I was just trying to imagine what you looked like as a little girl.
How's this? Where's Daddy?
See the comedy TV guide called Genuinely Funny. All Grow Up premieres Wednesday on ABC.
It's an all-new season.
Online investors say execution is the most important criterion for choosing a broker. So, who's executing your trades? Knight, the world's leading market maker, where the trade gets done.
Hey, little brother, what you eating? Condensed soup. You know, chicken and stars used to be my favorite, and then I learned to ride a two-wheeler. Come on, you're an adult now. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso chicken noodle with all white meat chicken, bigger veggies, and seasonings with some real zip. See the difference?
Good stuff.
There's hope for you yet. Now let's talk about the shirt.
What?
Discover the better taste of Progresso.
Well, Ray, it's crunch time now.
Right, Ted. Look, you've got hungry kids coming on strong.
Mom needs a big play to satisfy them.
Totino's Pizza Roll.
Tasty move, the great taste of pizza in bite-sized rolls.
She spins to the microwave. Here they come.
She rolls right. Oh, she rolls left.
Totino's Pizza Roll. Sensational.
Now catch this. Inside every box, Team Totino's game cards. Collect them and win cool stuff like the EA Sports Madden NFL 2000 video game. Details inside specially marked boxes of Totino's.
Now our first denture cleanser keeps dentures feeling clean all day. New Fix-It-Dent with ProGuard, a breakthrough tablet and bath system. First, place your dentures into the bath and release the power of ProGuard to get them 4 times cleaner. Then you lift the inner basket to help seal in the clean with the ProGuard barrier, protecting against plaque and odor-causing bacteria from morning till night. Fix-It-Dent with ProGuard. Start cleaner, stay cleaner.
When it comes to executing trades, who is the preferred choice of the top online brokers? Knight, the world's leading market maker, where the trade gets done.